Okay, our last video, we talked about a browser, and we said that a browser allows you to browse the internet, find different types of magazines on the internet, and get there. So the next question that comes up, well, how do I know the address to look for? And that's a big problem. If I don't know the address or the location of something, then how do I know where to go to find the stuff that I want, whether it's a magazine or a mall or whatever, right? Now, let's use the analogy back about the mall, right? So we're going to draw this as our mall. Let's say this is the building for the mall. M-A-L-L. Okay, this is our mall. And we want to find that mall. Back in the days, the olden days, how would we do it? Well, let's say we didn't know the address of the mall. The first thing we would try to do is use one of these items that we have here. We'd use a map, all right? M-A-P. And we would get some directions. And then we would say, okay, we're starting here and we're going there, and this is the location of the mall. And so the map would help us to get there, all right? Or let's just say that we wanted to call the mall because we had some specific questions for somebody at the mall. So this is some manager at the mall or whatever. We want to call the mall. Then the next thing we would use is a yellow page, right? And yellow page, we would go into the yellow page and we would look up the list based on the phone number, assuming that we know the name of the mall, or we would just browse the section that has shopping or whatever it is. And we would find that phone number and then we'd be able to make that call to the mall, right? The third option, which is very common, or back it used to be, is just get some directions, right? You just ask somebody, hey, how do I go to this particular location, D-I-R-E-C-T-I-O-S, right? You get some directions. And they would just say, okay, you know what, go to the street, make a left, turn right, whatever, and then you would get them all. Well, the question becomes, well, how do you do this in today's world with computers? And the answer is you search for it. You just go online, you go open up a browser, and you do a search. So the browsers in today's world, the way how it works actually is that, so going back to that analogy about a browser and the fact that you have a search box at the top of the browser, you would literally just type in mall, M-A-L, or if you know the name of the mall, you would type in the name of the mall. Or if you don't know the name of the mall, you would just type mall in name of city, mall in Toronto, mall in New York, mall in California, wherever, it doesn't really matter, whatever location. And what it would do, it would return a list of locations or a list of address similar to the yellow page that you could then click on, and that would take you to the website that has the information about that mall. So that's how you would do it, by searching through the browser. Now, the thing that's actually doing the searching is not the browser. Remember, the browser is just a program that allows you to view magazines or view websites on the internet. So it's not the browser that's actually doing the searching. There's what we call in the back, we call the search engine, SEARCHENGINING, right? Search engine, okay? So GINE, sorry, I misspelled that, but it doesn't matter. So a search engine is what actually allows the browser, when you type in that name of that search box, to find that website or that mall information or that phone number or give you directions. It's a search engine's job in order to do that information and return that result to you. For your knowledge, it doesn't really matter. The point is that you are search typing in the browser, and the browser, through this source of magic, that uses a search engine in the background to do that search, right? And that's how that works. Now, there are different types of search engine, and just to elaborate, there's different types of search engine, but there's only two main ones that we're going to focus on since they're the most popular in the US. There's Google, that controls about 70% of the internet searches. In other words, more people go to Google. And then there's Bing, which is actually run by Microsoft, Microsoft. We're not going to really talk too much about the difference between these two. The point is that you can use either Google or Bing to do a search, and both of them will do the same thing. And when you actually type in the browser those keywords, so again, going back to the browser, when you type in that search box at the top, mall, Toronto Mall or New York Mall or whatever it is, and it returns the results, it's either this search engine or Bing that's basically injecting that, putting that data in a list format for you to be able to see it. So that's what's happening there, right? Now, the next thing that I want to bring your attention to is the other way of doing the search is, instead of just typing in the name here in the search box, what you can do is just visit these websites directly, because these search engines are actually just websites. They're just another website on the internet. The difference is that when you go to their website, which normally looks very plain because all it is just one website. So you would type in so I'd put it here, www.google.com, or you would type in www.bing.com, and you just type that into the browser window at the top. When you type that in, www.google.com, let's just say in the browser, Google is going to return your website with one thing and one thing only, a search box. A search box that you could then enter mall, M-A-L-L, New York Mall, Toronto Mall, whatever it is, and press this search button here, and that will return your results. The only difference is that because Google made, in some cases, the browser might have been made by Google, or in some cases, the browser might have been made by Internet Explorer. Instead of having you to come to a URL here, instead of having you type in www.google.com or www.bing.com, they just allow you to just do a search right there, which does the same thing as coming to Bing.com or Google.com and then doing a search in this search box to return your results. All right, so they just fast track that process for you. Instead of you having to manually do two steps, they just merge it into one. So this box at the top doubles as both a website address where you can visit a website, and you could also do a search to return the results. So that newsstand that I mentioned before, what they're doing is, in the background, either Bing or Google, is they're literally going and looking up, okay, because I typed in mall, they're looking for a magazine that has the word mall, and say, okay, these 4 magazines here has the word mall, and they're returning to you a list so that you could then go click on that link and then visit this magazine, or visit this magazine, or visit this magazine, right? They're just providing a list of websites or magazines that you could then go and view. And that's all a search engine does. But it's important to understand that concept, because then you understand that if the search engine doesn't find your results, or for example, you type in the wrong word, you could just change the keywords in that search box, and then it might give you sort of these results instead, a different set of results, right? So the concept of a search engine is very important because there's so many of these magazines out there. There's literally hundreds of thousands and billions or millions of magazines out there. And it's just impossible for you to know all the different ones that exist. Every day somebody's putting up a new website, or a new company's putting up a new website. So using the search box on Bing or Google allows you to quickly find, because they go out and they create a list for you, and they keep that list in the background. So the minute you type in a search term, they know, okay, it's like, yeah, we're looking for this mall in this location. I know exactly which list to give you, and they give you that list. All right. So I hope that makes sense about what a search engine does and the different types of search engines. And a later date, we'll actually show you the search engine, and we'll show you exactly how you type in the search engine and look for the results that you're looking for.